even start to compete with the really innovation of Ziv Aviram and the companies, I cannot compete. I'll try to compete with an invention that was done or was launched in 1951 and is flourishing and successful until today, Israel bonds. But before that, Ambassador, thank you for being with us. Mayor, I know that you were already awarded and people spoke about your excellent, amazing job that you do and your leadership. But I want to say, I'm putting aside my hats as President of Israel Bonds, as former government secretary, and I want to tell you that as an Israeli, simple Israeli, thank you very much. Thank you for what you're doing and your friendship to the State of Israel. So, I want to read you a sentence. The mayor earlier today, in his remarks in the morning, spoke about the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948. I want to read you a sentence. May 14, 1948, the date Israel declared independence, was a good day for the world. The one that said this sentence exactly a year ago is Warren Buffett. You heard of Warren Buffett? The most famous investor in the world. So Warren Buffett is a true close friend of the State of Israel and Israel bonds. Now, this is why the invention of Israel bonds from 1951 is still relevant, flourishing, and successful until today. Warren Buffett is a very close friend of Israel bonds. We had 4 events with him during the last year because he admires, put aside Israel, the innovation, and put aside Israel's economic success, but he admired the vision of David Ben-Gurion. When David Ben-Gurion established the State of Israel, there was no income tax or not enough income tax to face all the challenges of Israel. Israel was facing lots of challenges, the independence war and other things. And he knew that he cannot ask banks, foreign banks, for loans. The Israel banks were very, very small because Israel was a state with risk. So what he envisioned is that he will ask the Jewish people that were spread around the world to invest and to give loans to the State of Israel. He knew that he cannot ask them for more and more donations. Of course, the American Jewry was the only Jewry that could help. The European Jewry was struggling with the aftermath of the Shoah. And Warren Buffett was amazed by the vision of David Ben-Gurion using or trying to get the assistance of the American Jewry to establish Israel through investment, through loans that they will give to the newborn Jewish land. And from that day, from 1951 until today, Israel bonds sold $42 billion. Now, for a state in the size of Israel, tiny Israel, in size and in population, $42 billion has made the change for Israel's economy today. Through the years, we sold bonds to individuals all over the world, started in the United States, but then continued to Latin America and, of course, to Europe, and we have a very successful campaign also in Germany. And still it's relevant because through those investments, this is one of the best ways to connect Israel supporters to, again, the only Jewish state that we have. There are many, many states around the world with crescents. There are many, many states with crosses, but only one state that on its flag there is the Magen David, and it's the State of Israel. As I said, Israel bonds was very, very important to establish the economy of Israel. Today, Israel has one of the best economies in the world. This is not what I'm saying. It is the OECD, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and international rating agencies like Standard & Poor's, which in last August, upgraded Israel to AA-. By the way, AA, only 15 states around the world is in the prestigious club of AA. The country, by the way, AA- is the highest that the country received ever. I'm equally proud to cite recognition accorded to Israel bonds. In July, Moody's, it's another rating agency, upgraded its outlook for Israel from stable to positive, noting, and here I quote directly from the report, Israel's financing will always benefit from considerable foreign demand in its Israel bonds program aimed at the Jewish diaspora, which has shown a willingness to support Israel in times of external shocks. Thank God where Israel is now after 70 years. I was 3 weeks ago in a conference in Israel, the Prime Minister's Conference on Innovation, and it connects, of course, to what Ziv introduced. It was a conference that dealt about innovation. To honor Israel and to honor the innovative spirit, to this conference came all the who's and who's on the high-tech industry around the world, starting with Vice President of China, continuing with, you know, Alibaba, I'm sure, the founder of Alibaba, his name is Jack Ma, and Eric Schmidt from Google, and many, many others like the Vice President of Facebook, and they all came to tiny Israel. And when the biggest names in tech and the Vice President of the world's most populous country come to the Jewish state to praise Israeli innovation and the way it is bettering the world, we can all take pride in our homeland. I started with Warren Buffett, and I will conclude with Warren Buffett. During the first event, at the end of the first event that we had with him, as a surprise, Warren Buffett said, I'm going to buy $5 million of Israel bonds to show my support in Israel and its economy. 2-3 weeks later, he's calling us and he said, guys, I told you I'm going to buy. You didn't send me the forms. Please send the forms. And of course, we sent him the forms. And then he needed to decide what is the maturity of the bond. We are selling 2, 3, 5, 10. And he said, I want to buy 25 years bonds. I want to show my support in Israel. We said, Warren, I'm sorry, but we cannot. We have only the long term is 10 years. So he said, and it's a quote, if you would offer me a bond in perpetuity, it means for life, I would buy one because Israel is going to stay forever. Thank you.